Cool. Welcome. This is the Chicago Indie Critics Roundtable for Judas and the Black Messiah. I am Emmanuel Noisette, director of the CIC. I am joined with my co-director, Ella Ray Stanek. We have Al and Linda Lerner, Ryan from Cinema Jaw, Leo Brady, Andrea Thompson, Mike Crowley. We also have, as our esteemed guests here, Chairman Fred Jr. and Daniel Kaluuya. How are you, gentlemen?
Well, on this end.
Great.
Awesome. We're going to start off with Leo, and let's go, folks.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm Leo Brady with themovieguy.com. It's fantastic to talk to you today. My first question is for Chairman Fred, actually. And maybe Daniel can jump in on this as well. But Fred, you never really had the opportunity to meet your father. And now here's Daniel portraying him up on the screen. Have you been able to put sort of a final thought on what what this performance has meant to you and your full sort of impact of seeing him play your dad?
I haven't had the opportunity to view the final piece from the viewer's perspective. In other words, sit back with some popcorn and relax. It's been a long labor of love. I'm talking about that's even, prior to even going on the set. We're taking it in and appreciating every that aspect of it, the highs and lows, everything from our initial meeting with Daniel, Dominique, and others. This process, it's a climb where certain conversations are able to happen that, many people can relate to, terms such as, COINTELPRO, assassination, or just the Black Panther Party. So we taking it in step by step. And again, it's a charge up it's increasing daily as we speak.
Mike.
Great.
Mike.
Well, thank you so much. I was just making sure everyone got a chance to speak. Hi, it's Mike Crowley from You'll Probably Agree. This is a question for Chairman Fred, and certainly Daniel, you could jump in as well as you like. I don't want you to feel left out. Why I learned so much about the Black Panther movement that I didn't quite know before, because in a way it felt like the American education system failed me in a way in properly educating me about them. Why do you think it is that history classes don't cover the movement as thoroughly as they do in this country?
Malcolm X said, "It says that America's democracy is an hypocrisy." In other words, it's a facade of freedom. The discussion of of an organization, basically ranging from ages 14 to 24 years old. The fact that there's a need for a free breakfast program, exposes a contradiction. The fact that there's a need to demand the release of political prisoners in a place, in a country that touts itself with the arrogance to go, throughout the world, to actually, China, Cuba, and other places throughout the world, do they have political prisoners? Are there human rights violations? And so for that organization to challenge that right here, in particular, in major cities such as Chicago, Oakland, California, throughout the world, and not just that organization, but for the people. And that's important to recognize the Black Panther Party, where it was a revolutionary organization that was connected to the people. So that climate, that's something that this state, that this system, that's a discussion that we're told if you're going to have it, whisper it. Don't to be seen as some sort of conspiracy theorist or whatever, what have you. But to acknowledge in a tangible, concrete form that there were people who were assassinated. That we still have political prisoners. And we still have colonized communities, oppressed communities.
This is Rye, the movie guy from the Cinema Jaw podcast. This question's for Daniel. In this movie, you're playing a historical figure. Does your preparation change when you're playing a character that was a real life person as opposed to straight fiction?
Yeah, it was. I just had to find that out, and going through it, just going, oh, this isn't giving me access to assume the position I want to be a vessel for this. So I would do things, and that doesn't work. Oh, that doesn't work. But also I realized, the target is way smaller. you know. And when you're having a fictional character, you create the boundaries and you create the target, and you just got to hit that, you know. With a real life person, you don't have that. You don't have that. But then when my mindset changed, when I stopped seeing it as boundaries, I started seeing it as a guide. And I was like, oh, this is the truth. Listen to that. You need to get out your own way. You know what I'm saying? This is that. That's a fact. Build that, boom, enrich that, boom, enrich that. Then I'm going on a treasure hunt. Then it was just like there's a lot of love that you just kind of go, oh, I want to learn this. What's that? And because there's not that much information from the perspective that would help. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of information about the Black Panther Party, and I didn't trust that that lens. And when I read that information at the beginning, I was like, this is not moving me. There's something wrong with this. You know what I'm saying? And it just felt manipulated and interrupted in a certain way. So then I had to go on a deeper hunt to find things that were from within, as opposed to the outside.
Linda Now Learner, Movies and Shakers. First of all, I want to tell you that I went to the Black Panther headquarters in the summer of '69 doing the underground news in Chicago. And also, Chairman Fred, I interviewed your mother with you when you were 5 years old at your South Side apartment. And we want to know what it was when you met in Chicago, when Daniel, you met with Chairman Fred and Mother Kaluuya in Chicago, in Chicago. What made you realize that this was the person to tell your story?
I relate to this term, Richard, comedic genius Richard Pryor, who also was heavily impacted by the Black Panther Party. The term you use a peopleologist. I like that term, and I think I study people. I have to in my genre. I've been a revolutionary. Time and location, where we met at, how we, I mean, we initially seen each other, through Brian Coogler had called, we said on FaceTime initially, but actual to come here to the childhood home of Chairman Fred Hampton, to sit here at the table we refer to as the Black Panther Party Cub table, and my mother and my comrades, and others sitting here, and the things were not just set, were not laid out planned. But after we got so far, mind you, give you the background, there have been a number of attempts brought to us about doing a movie on Chairman Fred. Books we turned down and under contested conditions, but we didn't plan for it to get to this stage. We asked Google, what's the worst neighborhood in Chicago right now at that time? It happened to be a place known as K-Town, Madison and Keeler. 11 people were just shot, and that's where we convened our meeting. Because that's our office, the streets, and I felt, related to him as well as Dominique, what I'm saying? And then it was not, that was an aha moment just then, but ongoing, as I said earlier, I don't want to throw a lid on it, just even our continuous dialogue, even up to this past December the 4th, International Revolutionary Day, then without any prompting, calls, touch, we constantly in communication. So it's ongoing,
What did you do to make him understand that you were the one?
I don't think it was my job to make him understand. It was that I'm the one. I'm here to meet him as a man. You know what I mean? And come to him as a man, and get to know him, get to know the party politics, get to know the philosophies, get to know where he's coming from. You know what I mean? It's not. I didn't enter that room with anything to prove. I just entered that room just to be me and tell the truth. And then how he receives me is how he receives me. I don't want to go, I want you to feel this. It's not a manipulating frequency that I'm moving on.
He wasn't acting that day.
I wasn't acting, my guy. He asked me the question like, why are you doing this? Why'd you do this? I'm like, woo!
He didn't come I don't feel he came with any script. You didn't have any script.
No script. Straight off the top.
Off the top.
Nice. What's going on? First and foremost, Daniel, I am so sorry for mispronouncing your last name. People do it to me all the time, so I know that sucks. My bad, brother. Question for you, though. I know that the process that you go through establishes a bit of a spiritual connection with your characters, that you portray. And this question is for Daniel and for Chairman Fred too. Many of the fights and struggles that the Black Panthers fought for and are still fighting for are still relevant today. And I'm just wondering, what do you think Fred Hampton would say or feel about movements like Black Lives Matter or defund the police?
I mean, I don't feel it's for me to. How can you say this? This is a brilliant mind. You know what I mean? It's like imagine what he would have read and what he would have taken in during this time in this 52 years. You know, it's our loss. You know, that we don't have a mind like him and a heart like him to have an opinion on the things that are happening right now in this moment. But what I do feel that he would be in step and in alignment with what Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. is doing and what Mama Aku is doing. That's what I know for sure. You know what I'm saying? So like it's that for me is that kind of like he was you can't fathom where that mind would elevate to, you know, especially at the point that he got to at that time, you know, for me.
Right on. Well said. I just you know, though I surpassed the age in which, you know, Chairman Fred was assassinated. I'm 51 years old now. I still humble myself in regards to the legacy of Chairman Fred Hampton. It's ever developing, you know what I'm saying? The war stories that I still get, you know what I'm saying, from the community. And I say it's which is intensified even with this climate, this time. Those were intense times. These are intense times. But again, I dare not attempt to say, you know, particularly what he would say, but I know we say the Black Panther Party Cubs, it's a tough act to follow. But we try our best to not walk in their footsteps, but their Panther Paw steps and all humbleness. You know, some of our same adversaries have, way they have come at us, way they have moved on us. I think I think we move in lockstep with the legacy of Chairman Fred and the Black Panther Party.
Thank you, brothers.
Hi, Ellery Stanek with the Neon Movie Bunker. Thank you very much, gentlemen, to sit down and chat with us. Putting together a film about your father's legacy and about what the Black Panther Party has done, you can't get everything into that time period, into that runtime. Is there material that you wish was in the film that didn't quite make it? And is there a chance of addressing that material in a future project?
Of course, there's a lot of things that that we like get in, but but the deal is, some people say, well, do you think the movie's going to tell us everything about Chairman Fred? We have to be realistic. No, but just to even to open the door, for the conversation, and the sky's the limit. I mean, I hope a series. I hope this again. There have been a number of attempts brought to us, but it wasn't. It didn't fit. It didn't fit. Everything from the lack of respect to you name it. If we can collaborate some more forces such as these, this dream team. The forces that we worked with. Man, I look forward to it because the conversation is ongoing. It's still relevant. What Chairman Fred said then, it's still relevant now. So yeah, so the sky's the limit.
Excellent.
Hi, Andrea Thompson with A Reel of One's Own. At the risk of sounding repetitive, I want to reiterate my thanks to both of you for being here and speaking with us. And perhaps it's strange, but one of the things that struck me most about the film, this is a question mostly for Chairman Fred, is how young your father was when he was killed and how much he had already accomplished. Like Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X, just to name a few, were both like 39 and 40 when they were killed. So how do you think he managed to be so self-possessed, accomplished so much at 21, such a young age? Because it's just remarkable.
Put in context also, those times, the type of discussions that were happening, the draft, those terms that we're talking about, go fight or go to jail, a climate in which, the politics was reflective of, in the fashion, sports arena, you name it. But not to take away, you know, so again, I mean, I've studied, you know, everything from Chairman Fred's relationship with my great-grandfather, his grandfather, how he impacted him as a child. Growing up, you know, how he, at the age of the house where I'm sitting at right now, I mean, at the age of 13, 14 years old, the federal government called him for a wiretap to be placed in my grandparents' home when he was 13, 14 years old. Him taking the junior NAACP from about 7 to 300 members in 7.5 time period. A lady was just over here a few weeks ago telling me about the fight he fought to have a swimming pool for Black children at 12, 13, 14 years old. So, I'm honored and humbled, you know what I'm saying? But again, that template, that's what I think is so important, that we fight to, you know, to lay this out to people, because we can't get caught with the conventional definitions of terms such as generation or what a teenager is supposed to do, because we are some unusual circumstances. We have to challenge those confines of, you know, so what it is to be a 14-year-old, what it is to be a 24, 21-year-old.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, my next question's for Daniel. I wanted
Sorry,
to
that's actually all the time we have for today.
Oh, okay.
For today's roundtable. My apologies, Leo.